And hello, welcome YouTube to this video. In this video, I want to present to you a tool which is very useful to learn about encapsulation and the packets you are sending in and out of your computer. This tool is none other than Wireshark. At least for 2022, it is a very useful tool and it's been around for quite a while. So before I start, I'm just going to share with you some of the sites I'm going to use. This is the Wireshark website. Okay, you can also find a Wireshark Wikipedia article which will tell you some of the history of Wireshark, and of course you can take about it, look at it in a Geeks for Geeks website and stuff as well. So you can see this thing actually started as early as 1990. So this technology is nearly 30 something years old. Or at least it has its roots in it's like a 30 years old plus technology. Okay, so this is a free tool, so you can use it to try stuff on your own. Just be aware that you're not supposed to use this to go and monitor other people's packets, okay, especially if they're unencrypted. So that's what hackers will do over your wireless network, because wireless networks are just there to broadcast messages all around. The way to protect your wireless messages is to encrypt them so that they're unreadable unless you know how to decrypt them, and that's very difficult. That the algorithm makes it difficult. Now, Wireshark.org is one of the places I'll bring you to. The Wikipedia article for Wireshark is also there. You can download Wireshark, and it's available for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux as well. For Linux, at least Manjaro Linux, you will be able to install it directly from the App Store. If you just type Wireshark, okay, Wireshark, and you can install it from the App Store, or you can just use sudo pacman Wireshark. Okay, this one was running Wireshark just now, so okay, sudo pacman Wireshark, and then I'll type in my password and it should, okay, Wireshark Qt. Yeah, Wireshark Qt is the package you're supposed to enter. So I'm not going to install it since I already have it. You can go and try it on your own. This is for Arch or Manjaro. Wireshark Qt. Okay, so if you can't find it on excuse me, if you cannot find it on your repositories, you can always look into Flatpaks. Okay, it is available on FlatHub as well. So this is Wireshark, which you can try on Windows, you can try on Linux and Mac. Okay, next thing, okay, this is not going to be used. Okay, I'm just going to leave this computer networking course link in the description as usual. This is how, I guess, ethical hackers can use to examine smartphone traffic with Wireshark on the same network. This is a tutorial. Remember, it's only for ethical hacking. White hat hacking, do not use it. I do not encourage or endorse that. Okay, for black hat hacking. Okay, this is a Wireshark tutorial for beginners, which you can use to examine some of the packets coming in and out. Why is this tool useful? Because well, the main reason I'm using it, well, as you can see here, these are some intended purposes of Wireshark. Network administrators can use it to troubleshoot network problems. Network security engineers use it to examine security problems. Blah blah blah. Okay, here's what I'm using it for. People use it to learn network protocol internals. In other words, we are going to use it to examine the packets that we are sending in and out of the computer. So, how do we start Wireshark? Okay, the way to start is to just use sudo Wireshark. Why do we need sudo? It just basically means we need to run it as administrator. So if you're going to do it on Windows, make sure sometimes it will say, do you need to run it as administrator? Just click yes. If not, you can't really do anything. Okay, so this is what Wireshark looks like, and of course there'll be many networks here that you can examine. I'm going to examine the wireless network, and this is the network here, which will of course display my current IP address and the IP address of the sender and receiver. But of course my IP address won't stay the same because it is allocated via DHCP or Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, and you see, wow, there's so many packages here, right? So many packages here. So there's already a lot of communication that's going on over here, for example. So let's just take a look at one of these packages. Okay, this is some TCP thing. Okay, all right. So let's examine. Okay, this is the actual package. How do you say? Data packet that we are sending across. And like I was saying before, it will have the very important information of where the source and destination MAC address is. So this is the source address, this is the destination address, or rather this is the source address, this is the destination address. So I'm receiving it back from my router or wireless extender. So as you can see, if you hover over this, okay, maybe there's a data overload. Let me try again. Alright, I'm gonna quit without saving. So we usually start Wireshark again by sudo Wireshark. I'm gonna stop and try again because I don't want to rush through this. Okay, so if you're not clear the last time, make sure you go to, this is the opening page. Don't worry about all the buttons on top, don't worry about everything else. Look for your wireless network interface which you are going for. Usually it will be WL something something because W stands for wireless. Okay, everything else here you can kind of like, you know, cancel off by elimination. For example, Docker and Bluetooth, you know that's not your internet connection. Okay, this is actually the LAN connection. You can actually use IPA to kind of check. So this is your LAN connection. This is your loopback, or otherwise known as localhost, because it's 127.0.0.1. Okay. Every time you see this IP address, IP version 4 address, just, you know, kind of guess this is your computer's local IP address. So if you send something to this IP address, you'll be sending yourself, you know, things. Okay, so this is your Ethernet, this is wireless, this is Docker. Okay, so Ethernet, wireless, Docker. So if you're not sure which one to use, just check your IP config or IPA profile kind of thing. So I'm going to double click the wireless one, and this is how we arrive at this interface. And if you want to know more, you can watch this video, learn Wireshark in 10 minutes. Okay, but I'll only introduce you to the basics and use it to dissect an Ethernet frame or, you know, a data packet. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we have several things going on here. Okay, for example, this frame or this data packet, this is called packet 49 or something. It's just the 49th packet we've captured. Okay, let's see the source and destination. Okay, the Ethernet protocol, even though this is being transferred over Wi-Fi. Okay, this actually has the destination and source. So this is actually getting it back from my wireless extender. And the destination is of course this computer here, as shown by this MAC address, or rather this computer's Wi-Fi card. Okay, the full package of the packet that we're sending out is actually displayed over here in all these numbers and gibberish, which we may or may not understand. Okay, likely if you are amateur, this is not going to make very much sense to you. However, as you hover over different sections of the code, you will see that at the bottom left hand corner here, it will roughly tell you what the data here is supposed to be. So if you double click this, okay, this bytes, as you can see, bytes 0 to 5 with a small bracket Ethernet address. If you double click on this, you will be brought to this part on top. If you double click on this IG bit here, you'll be brought to this part here. Okay, so most of the useful data that you see here will be sort of displayed here. For example, what is the destination MAC address, what is the source MAC address, and this is Internet Protocol version 4 or IP version 4. This is where all your source and destination and everything is. So the source IP address is 104.16.248.249. Destination is this IP address 192.168.7215, which again will change every time. I mean, it will change periodically due to the dynamic host configuration protocol. So yeah, you won't have this computer on this IP address. So haha, yeah. All right. So this is how you kind of examine 104.16.248.249. The destination is 192.168.27215. This is the part of okay. If you take a look here, identification here is IP ID. If you go to the next frames, IP frag offset, TTL, time to live. Okay, I talked about this before, but I did not go in detail, so I'm going to skip. This is the IP protocol part, which is TCP. Okay, I didn't go through that yet, so don't worry. Here's a checksum. Okay, I didn't go through it in detail, so I'm kind of skipping this part. There's a lot of detail that's going on here, but what kind of makes sense to us is the source address, which is the part I'm being highlighting over here, and this next part of the packet actually shows the destination IP address. Okay, and remember I was talking about port numbers the last time. So this is the source port and the destination port. Now these are real life ports as well. Source port is 443. Excuse me. Source port is 443. So it doesn't mean that the destination and source port must be the same all the time. Like I showed in the last video, the destination and source port can be different. Okay, so again here source port 443, destination port 58196. So it doesn't mean that at all the time that you use HTTP or it's a web traffic, it has to go through this specific port. It's not necessarily true, but yeah, you got to take a look at what ports you're talking about here. Okay, so here is where you can examine the port numbers, and you can examine the IP addresses. Okay, IP's source address and IP destination address, source port and destination port. Okay, and that's used to help navigate through the network address translation. Okay, that's putting it very simple. Very simply, but again, yeah, there's a lot more going on here with this TCP. It's part of something called the transport layer, but I've not gone through that yet, so don't worry about it. Okay, here's a sequence number, acknowledgement, all of that. So all of these are part of excuse me, part of TCP. But again, I've not gone through that, but what I just want to show you is this very useful tool called Wireshark, which can help you see what packets you're sending in and out of your computer, and you can actually examine, the packet that's coming in and out bit by bit. Where is the source and destination MAC address? Where is the source and destination IP address? Where is the source and destination port? Okay, all of this you can examine using Wireshark, and yeah, that's why it's a very useful tool to help you put all this to actually help you to visualize and see what actual packets are being sent in and out, what data is in those packets as well. Okay, make sure you use it ethically. Okay, I do not endorse black hat hacking again, so yeah, make sure it's legal and stuff. So as long as it's your own network, it should be fine, and it's stuff going in and out of your computer, it should be fine as well. It's perfectly legal. All right, so yeah, so this is what we have here. All the useful information is highlighted here, so you can very interesting is that if you look at this part, the Ethernet frame, remember the Ethernet header and the head and tail of the Ethernet frame is actually, if you highlight the Ethernet excuse me, if you highlight the Ethernet, you will see all these highlighted areas on the code here below. Okay, all these highlighted areas, and this will be your Ethernet header and footer, and the whole thing is actually your Ethernet frame. Okay, and this will be encapsulating the IP datagram. Okay, IP datagram is, I guess, the head and the header and all the important information is within this highlighted portion here. And of course, anything else which is actually part of the transport layer, it will be in this highlighted part here. So I guess this is enough. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but I might use Wireshark very often next time when I'm trying to explain packets going in and out. Okay, why is there this encapsulation going on? Yeah, and what does each layer, you know, what kind of information does each layer have? Okay, so Wireshark is a very useful tool for that, and just demonstrate some of that in this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys again. Bye bye.